Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Got question Chase, has got the facts, talking NFL numbers, he's got your back. A little chart trend ball, man, he's got it like that. Chasing data by do champions. Chasing data applies to everyone. Chasing data, yeah, we're live today. Chasing data for always. Chasing data, Baidu champions.
What's up and welcome to week 18. This is the first full season we're doing this, and we're now week 18 of it. It's been a long season. We still have no idea who's going to win the Super Bowl. Vegas doesn't know. I don't know, but we're here to talk about it. We're here to talk about the playoffs and what we expect. And usually we talk about every game. I think it's kind of pointless to talk about every game this week. What's up, Nero? But start at the beginning. If you're new here, this is all analytics based. What do the advanced numbers say? We need more NFL teams, about expansion teams. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of parity right now, this season especially. No dominance for sure. First game, Carolina at Tampa Bay. Panthers. I mean, first off, for them to get in, for the Panthers to get in, they either need to win or Atlanta beat New Orleans. And the reason that is they can still get in if they lose to Bucks. They'll both be 8-9. But if the Falcons win as well, they'll be 8-9 as well, right? Yeah, they'll all three be 8-9, and then the tiebreakers ends up going to head-to-head, which the Panthers lead right now. They would be 3-1 versus the Falcons and the Bucks, while the Falcons and the Bucks would be 2-2 against everyone in that three-way tie. So Panthers have the easier route of winning. Currently, 2.5-point spread in Tampa Bay's favor. We will see how that plays out. First off, when you look at Carolina, they need to do better on the offensive side of the ball. Bryce Young, of course, he played maybe very easily a top three defensive ball between him, the Broncos, and the Texans. But I mean, that's the better way to do last week. He had 0 completions, over 10 air yards. He had like 54 yards and 1 interception. Typically, worst in his career. The Birds, is that Eagles birds? I assume. But Bryce Young has to look at least semi-competent. He has the Sam Darnold, not to the extremes of Sam Darnold, but where he is so not great, but looks really good one week, and then he has a bottom 5 quarterback performance the following week. It needs to be more consistent from him, especially in this game. Obviously, this game. So here's what he does with that. I'm also curious to see what the matchup they had. Look, pressure, especially when and I think a 32% pressure rate, which was second best of his career. The reason that happened is because Ike Ekwonu was out for that game, and they had the backup tackle in there. Ekwonu is going to be playing this week, so expect a little bit of increase in efficiency from that offensive line. But when you look at the offensive line, they've used 10 different offensive line combinations. They have played at least 50 snaps, the most in the league, while the Bucks have the second most. It does help the Panthers. Did they get back? Was it Robert Hunt? That's who they got back last week, or they're getting back? Interior offensive lineman. That's their side. Caleb, yeah, Eagles. Better defense looked great in that rain game against the Bills. It's kind of wide open, and we shall see. With the Panthers, also curious to see what J.C. Horn is going to do. Who is he lining up against? In the previous matchup, he had 29 coverage snaps, 0 targets, 0 receptions allowed. He mostly matched up with Mike Evans in man coverage. It was only 7 matchups that they have in that game. They could I think New England had 3 or 4, but who's J.C. Horn covering this week? The offense in Tampa Bay has looked awful. They're 23rd in efficiency. I mean, we expect them to be a top 10 team. Uh, John, Niner Nation, my friend. I mean, the Niners, they're going to have to score 40 points every week to get through the playoffs. Their defense, which we're going to talk about, has only 18 sacks this season. And if they can't get to the quarterback, I always have the pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Myles Garrett has more than their team sacks still. Do you think the Niners will make the Pro Bowl, or do you think the players Super Bowl? I mean that's, or do you think the players will be more than enough? I do not think the Niners make the Super Bowl if that's what you're asking. Solely based on the defense, they got to have some competent play from the defense, especially the defensive line. I know they've lost some players for sure, like some Nick Bosa and others. The way they're playing right now, that is not sufficient enough to get them excluding an all-time performance from the likes of Brock Purdy. Do you think the Titans have a chance at the Super Bowl this week? Yeah, I think if you go to Twitch and maybe watch a few YouTube shows, you could probably find the Titans in the Super Bowl. But back to the Panthers. Bucks are 3-point favorites. It's in Tampa Bay. I mean, I want to say they're probably going to blitz Baker because he's not the quarterback that he's been in what we see, especially compared to last year, where you see him scramble outside the pocket. He makes these throws. He's a great scrambling quarterback, but this year he looked like a shell of himself, whether that's the offensive line, whether that's the injury, the shoulder. But he's recorded the second lowest completion percentage and the 5.2 against the blitz. When you look at the Panthers and how often they blitz, are they a blitz-heavy team? Let's see. They are currently blitzing at the right league average, 15 most. They blitz 27% of the time. Let's see what they did against him in week 16. Let's see. Carolina Panthers. In week 16, they blitzed him the least amount they blitzed any quarterback this season. So do they change it up? Do they keep going with that? We shall see. We shall see. I think I'm going to take the Panthers in this one. Panthers have been more consistent, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like the Bucks have just let us down time and time again. Baker had a better week last week. It was the Miami defense and the Miami secondary. I know the Bucks have a better roster, more talented roster. I feel like the defense is not good enough. The offense has been struggling all year. Like, I mean, they started out, was it 6-1, something like that, something 5-1, and they have been downhill. Go Texans! They can easily make it out of the AFC. There is no dominant team in the AFC right now. Patriots, are they about to lose Stephon Diggs? The off the field controversy. Broncos, they have Bo Nix. They look great. I think the Broncos are maybe the best looking team in the AFC right now. But the Texans have the best unit out of any unit in the AFC with that defense. We'll carry them. CJ Stroud just has to play well for a few games, and they can easily be in the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I think I'm going Carolina. I think Carolina gets in for sure because, I don't know, Atlanta and New Orleans. I mean, Atlanta could easily beat New Orleans. New Orleans has to lose the game eventually. They've won 4 in a row quite unexpectedly. So, that's that. Then we have Seattle. Right now, it's Seahawks are favored by 1.5. 120 money line. Plus 100. But with that said, where can each of these teams? I mean, when the Seahawks are not pressured, it's all right. First off, it's going to depend a lot on which version of Sam Darnold that we get. you look at Sam Darnold, he was prior to in the last 3 weeks, he was also I've been tracking top five for dropback of the quarterbacks in the NFL. Top five in the season. But you look at his last 4 games and his total EPA over the last 4 games against the Falcons, positive plus 9. Sorry, against the Colts plus 0.3, and then the Rams minus 16 against the Panthers minus 10. So he was around top five all season, around positive 0.15 around positive 0.24. And he's been in that range all season. But the last 2 games, he's had a minus zero point 0.4 EPA per dropback and a minus 0.31 EPA per dropback. So he's played god awful the last 2 weeks. 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 407 passer rating of around 80. I mean, it's just not been great football for him over the last. So which Sam Darnold are we going to get? We can look back. I mean, they played him in week 1. That's going to be a totally different program, a totally different offense. I mean, that was the worst game of the season. But it was. His worst game of the season was against the Niners. Again, 2 totally different teams. Now, we can expect those things. Where can these again, a lot. The defense. We know the defense is going to show up. I'm more excited to see Seattle's defense versus San Francisco's offense instead of Seattle's offense versus San Francisco's defense. I mean, it could be just like the Chicago game that we just saw with the 49ers this past week. But against the deep pass, the Niners are next to last. The Seahawks are number 3. Whenever they're not pressured, the Seahawks are number 4, and the 49ers have the second lowest pressure rate. I already talked about their sacks earlier. They've only had 18 sacks this season. Worst in the NFL. I think the next worst is either 24 or 26 by the New York Jets. I mean, look, Myles Garrett has 22 sacks alone. Brian Burns has 16.5. So 2 players basically have alone what the San Francisco 49ers have as a team. And like I said, I know they've lost players. This defense is very gettable, but we need a good game from Sam Darnold. The fluctuation. We don't want to see what happened last year at the end of the season with the Vikings, where he tended to backstep over those last few weeks and into the playoffs, where they lost against the Rams in the opening round last year. I mean, it's just going to be another Brock Purdy show, I think, for the Niners to win. Is the 2 factors in this game? Are we going to get an all-time performance again from Brock Purdy? Is Sam Darnold going to be good Sam Darnold or bad Sam Darnold? What do you mean? I think if I had to pick someone in this game, I am taking. This is a tough one. I'm taking Seattle. I think the defense is dominant enough to win this game 20-17. The defense is going to carry them to the win. No matter what the Seahawks defense, you are correct. They're just too good. I think they're the best unit. While San Francisco's offense is great, the Seahawks could have a great defense and a potentially great offense, depending on which Sam Darnold we get. Whereas San Francisco defense, nobody's ever going to say this season that they're defense. No Nick Bosa, no Fred Warner. I mean, they're missing too much. Other games of note. We'll go over these at the end. But New Orleans, Atlanta, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Indy, Houston. I mean, that one's semi-important because of Houston. Tennessee, Jacksonville, Green Bay, Minnesota, Dallas, New York, Buffalo. I mean, this is a lot of pointless games. Detroit, Chicago, Chargers, Broncos, Cardinals, Rams, Chiefs, Raiders, Dolphins, Patriots, Commanders, Eagles, and then the Sunday night game, Pittsburgh versus the Ravens. Excuse me. This one obviously has a lot of implications for the postseason and for the future, for the offseason as well. Um, the Ravens, if they lose, the Ravens lose this game, is John Harbaugh safe? Not too sure. If the Steelers lose this game, where do they go? I mean, they're basically they have a bunch of old talent. They don't have a quarterback for next year. I don't. I mean, this is probably Aaron Rodgers' last year. Um, we shall see. Is Lamar playing this game? John Harbaugh seems to makes it seem like it is up in the air. Uh, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But I mean, the Ravens obviously Lamar looked better in this game. This is one of the first days where he started looking better as the second half of the season once he came back from the injury. Are we going to get what we got from Derrick Henry in that run game against Green Bay versus the Pittsburgh Steelers? Pittsburgh Steelers, this defense is not the defense that we grew up knowing. Currently, right now, I mean, we're basically through the season. As far as efficiency ratings go, they are 14th overall defense. Against the run, they are 21st. And against the pass, so they're better against the pass. They're 16th against the pass. If Derrick Henry gets going and they stick with him like they did last week, this game can get ugly quick. But I mean, we saw what happened with Aaron Rodgers and no DK Metcalf. Entity Lamar is bringing PTA. Yes. Hopefully he plays. I mean, it's a playoff game. This is a playoff game. Simple as that. Lose, you're out. Um, we saw what the Steelers were not able to do without DK Metcalf. Aaron Rodgers had a 4.3 or 4.9 yard per attempt for that game. It was his worst EPA per dropback or second worst of the season. Against Cleveland defense is good, but I mean, it's not absolutely. With that said, I mean, Ravens are favored by 3.5. I think that's appropriate. It's probably going to be a 3-point game. I mean, no matter who's on the field, it's going to be a 3. But if you look at Derrick Henry last week, he had 36 carries, and that is the most awesome. Yes. Prior to he had 36 last week. The second most was against the Steelers when he had 25 in Week 14. 6 yards per carry, 4 touchdowns, 97 rush yards over expected, which was the highest of the season. His rush EPA almost 15, highest of the season. 159 yards after contact. I mean, he had a 20-mile-per-hour burst. I mean, he still got it, obviously. With that said, like, I mean, I feel like that's going to be the focal point of this game is can they establish the run game like they have years past with Baltimore? I know Lamar, if he plays great pocket passer, he can scramble, he can create on the run. But can they get this run game going? How much are they going to use Lamar in the run game if he's out there, especially if he has the back injury with the bruised ribs? I just don't see a path to victory for the Steelers. Yes, the Ravens defense not great. They had that midseason improvement, but they are not good enough for the Steelers. I mean, offense is not good enough to really expose the Baltimore defense. Let's put it like that. I mean, if they wanted to expose them, it's not going to be in the pass. If you look at the rush, Baltimore's defense, they have the sixth best rushing defense as far as EPA is concerned. So I don't think they're going to be able to exploit them the way that they think they could be able to do so. With that said, I think Baltimore wins this game. So let's go to so pick every game, and we will see what the matchups will be based on who I think is going to win each game. Let's see. third game of week 18. Okay, so Panthers at Bucks. Oh, wait, we're going Panthers, like we said earlier. Seahawks at Niners. We go Seahawks based on the defense alone. The Texans. Texans still have something to play for. Try to get the 5 seed. I do believe they would want the 5 seed to play the 4 seed in the playoffs, which would be either the Steelers or the Ravens. They would rather play them than the Jags, I would think. Cowboys and Giants. I mean, they should win this game. Browns at Bengals. Bengals take that one. Falcons. I mean, Falcons. Thanks. Win 5 in a row this season. They have to lose at some point. Then we have Packers and Vikings. No JJ McCarthy, I'm guessing. I think we go Packers. Really close. I mean, this guy, he's going to get a chance to be a starter somewhere next year, I do believe. Training camp. It's going to be a good offseason. He's going to go Titans and Jags. Jags are still playing for something. Take the victory against the Titans. Rams at Cardinals. And Sean McVay said he's playing his players. We have to assume they win that game. Chargers at Broncos. Chargers are sitting their players, if I do remember correctly. So one has to assume the Broncos win that game, get the 1 seed. Chiefs at Raiders. God, this is a matchup. But the third string quarterback in KC. Dolphins at Patriots. Patriots are still playing for something. There's a 1 seed. In that regard, that's when yours is not going to be open enough. Who's at Commanders, Eagles, Lions at Bears. I would pick an upset here. I mean, the Bears have overachieved this year. The Lions have underachieved for sure. Dan Campbell's definitely going to have his team ready to go in that game. Jets at Bills. Bills are definitely winning that one. I mean, it's the Jets. Ravens at Steelers. We said the Ravens. So now, based on these projections, we now have 1 seed Denver, 2 seed New England, Jacksonville, 4 seed, 4 seed Baltimore, 5 seed Houston, 6 seed Buffalo, 7 Los Angeles. When you go to the NFC, based on what I think is going to happen in Week 18, we have the 1 seed Seattle, 2 seed Philly, 3 seed Chicago, 4 seed Carolina, 5 seed Los Angeles Rams, 6 seed San Fran, 7 seed Green Bay. Green Bay's locked into the 7 seed, by the way. With that said, means Denver and Seattle get the bye. We have Dallas at New England. I'm not going to write all this thing. We have the Chargers going up against the Patriots. That matchup, assuming Stephon Diggs plays, I think Harold Landry and Milton Williams up front can really wreak havoc against Justin Herbert. And we have the Patriots moving on. But I mean, Justin Herbert could have a performance and not be surprised. Buffalo at Jacksonville. Buffalo's defense has been so suspect this entire season, and Trevor Lawrence is playing out of his mind over the last month of the season. I think we go Jacksonville. That could be a close one. But we have Houston at Baltimore. We're going Houston. I mean, that defense, there's no reason. Even if Pittsburgh gets in, I'm taking Houston over both of them. I would love to see the Ravens win it all. Jags Seahawks Super Bowl. We're seeing CPAC. I'm getting there. I'm going through. I just did all my Week 18 predictions of who's going to win the games and how those seeds played out. And I'm doing my matchups now to see who ends up where. So in the AFC, we have New England beating Los Angeles, Jacksonville beating the Bills, and the Texans beating the Ravens. Over to the NFC, we have Seattle, who had the bye, based on them beating the Niners. We have Green Bay at Philly. two teams that I do not trust right now. Green Bay without Micah Parsons cannot get pressure to save their lives. The Philly offense is suspect each and every week. So who do I like more, Philly defense or Jordan Love in that offense? I think it'll be a close matchup, but I think we go Philly in that one. I think we go Philly. Jags for sure. Broncos and Bills are weak. Yeah, either Rams or Hawks. Let's see. I'm picking it right now. San Francisco at Chicago. I think we take San Francisco. Los Angeles at Carolina. We go LA Rams. We got three NFC West teams in the divisional round. That's lost the only decent teams they played. Yeah, and I mean they're going up against per these projections. They're going up against the Chargers, and the offensive line is the reason why I cannot pick the Chargers right now. That offensive line is god awful. Justin Herbert is fighting for his life each and every snap. So we go to the divisional round. You would have the 1 seed Denver Broncos versus the 5 seed Houston Texans, and I think I go Texans. That leaves the Patriots versus the Jags, and that's going to be an interesting matchup. That one of these two teams could make it to the AFC Championship. I think they're Jacksonville. They're the team right now. So right now I have Jags at Jags Texans in the AFC. Let's see. Stafford or MVP? Depends on how you want to argue MVP. Over the longevity of the season, Matthew Stafford prior to last night was the better quarterback. I mean, he had, what was it, like 25 straight touchdowns without an interception. His numbers were great. Drake May had the easier strength of schedule, but I mean, he just played so efficiently. And the reason Drake May, I think, is going to win the league is he did not have a stinker of a game that Matthew Stafford had last night. Drake May did not have that. Drake May leading the NFL inefficiency rate because he came for a drop back. So I think Drake May wins the MVP. I think Luka plays if the Niners win Saturday. Yes, I know. I mean, I kind of went back and forth on this. But Sean McVay came out and said that his team did not play right, so they need to basically see the field again. My guess is that if the Niners win, and it doesn't matter for the Rams at that point, they maybe play like the first quarter, kind of like a preseason setup. Um, but I don't think they play the whole game. Like CPAC said. So NFC, you have 1 seed Seattle taking on 6 seed San Francisco in a rematch. And I think we take Seattle again. I discussed this earlier, but Seattle's defense is the best unit out of the 4 units in that game. The one I trust the most. While San Francisco's offense is great, I trust Seattle's defense more. All it takes is Seattle to have a. I know Sam Darnold in the offense is kind of more volatile, especially Sam Darnold could have those bad games. Do I trust Sam Darnold come playoff time? I I do not trust him wholeheartedly. He is not the most trustworthy quarterback in the NFC or in the NFL for sure. But his highs are so high in this offense, but his lows are so low. But in this matchup alone versus San Francisco, I trust their defense to carry them like I do in Week 18 versus the Niners as well. I think Josh Allen and James Cook play Week 18. So let me look at one thing real quick. I think they do. I mean, my initial guess is that they do. Just because they could be potentially playing for the 5 seed. I mean, I think anyone in the AFC wants to be the 5 seed because if they do, they get to play Pittsburgh or Baltimore. When you look at the AFC, they get the 5 seed is going to be a hard task, I do believe. A win, if they win and Jacksonville wins, they get the 5 seed. No, sorry. I'm looking at Texans. Buffalo gets the 5 seed. If they win, Chargers lose and Houston loses. There's other scenarios too, but I think they do play them. CPAC, Seattle Pack. I appreciate the follow. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. I do feel very highly about the Seahawks, and like I said, in the divisional round, per what I have going on for Week 18, I have them taking on the Niners in the divisional and winning both Week 18 and the divisional round. If they can win in San Fran, they can definitely win it at home. So that would be a rematch, Eagles and Rams, and I'm taking the Rams, especially once Devontae comes back. I do not trust Jalen Hurts in this offense. The defense is great, but the offense is sputters for sure. So going into championship weekend, I have the Jags taking on the Texans and the Seahawks taking on the Rams. You think Amon-Ra St. Brown and Luther Burden play? Amon-Ra, I mean, if he's available, he's going to be on the field. I mean, Dan Campbell's going to have those guys playing for sure. No doubt in my mind. Luther Burden, I think I read Ben Johnson said he thinks he's going to be good to go, or he was trending in the right direction. Whatever word soup you want to put in there. But it wasn't negative. I know he got carted off, but he's going to be okay and is likely to play, I do believe, is what I read. So going back to the championship round matchup that I have, based on the way this is playing out, the Jags, Chargers pull through. Who has the 1 seed in the AFC? Are you saying if the Chargers win Week 18? So Jags and Texans. I mean, if all it takes for the Texans is CJ Stroud and the offensive line to be average combined between the two of them, and they're making the Super Bowl. I mean, this defense is playing out of their mind. I mean, they're the best defense in the NFL. I argued this. I think I posted the video in July that I thought they would be the number one defense, and they are. They are. Will they knock the Broncos from the 1 seed if the Chargers win? And the Patriots. So if the Patriots win, I think it depends on if the Patriots win. Yes, Patriots. If Chargers beat the Broncos and Patriots beat the Dolphins, Patriots are the 1 seed. If Chargers beat the Broncos, Dolphins beat the Patriots, and the Jags win versus the Titans, the Jags are the 1 seed. If they all lose, then it's just the same as is. Denver is 1 seed again. 2010, funny. Yes, I'm hoping the Ravens beat the Steelers. Don't have the trust for this team right now, but I have even less trust in the Pittsburgh Steelers and Aaron Rodgers with no DK Metcalf. He had the lowest yards per attempt of the season for him. I think it was either 4.9 or 4.3. Regardless, absolutely terrible. Dolphins might win. We had Quinn Ewers taking over in these games. So, Jacksonville, Houston. Going Houston. Seattle and the Rams. I think the Rams get back on track. I think the Rams, I don't know. I don't know. If Seattle, let me think. Let me think this through again. Do I feel that Matthew Stafford was a one-off game last night, or is this a reminder that he's 37 years old and nice, nice. Uh, Matthew Stafford continue to play like this. If Devontae's hammy injury linger, were they exposed by the Falcons? There's a potential there for sure. This will be a great matchup between the Seattle defense and the Los Angeles offense for sure. We saw what happened last time. And all we need is it's kind of like the Seattle's defense, and if Sam Darnold can be average or slightly above, every team will go places for sure. I think I may take Seattle. I think I've convinced myself that Seattle with that front four been dominant all season with defense. I mean, every level of defense is great. It would be amazing as a fan to see a defensive Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Texans. We get to that point, I don't really care who wins at that point. I'll be happy with the outcome regardless. I think Seattle wins it. I think Seattle takes it all. That is my prediction based on what's going on right now. But if you were to ask me which teams have a legit chance to win, starting with the AFC, is there a path for the Broncos to get there? Absolutely. Patriots, I don't think so. I don't think so. Texans, yes, absolutely. Ravens, no. Chargers, no. Bills, yeah, I can see the Bills. Jags, I don't think they can string it together for that long to get to. We have Denver, Houston, Buffalo, AFC. NFC, Seattle, yes. Philly, yes, of course, if the offense can get going. Chicago, no. Carolina, absolutely not. Rams, yes. Niners, they don't have a defensive front. They have 18 sacks on the season. They're not getting it. Green Bay, they don't have a defensive front without Micah Parsons. So you have Seattle, Philly, Denver, Houston, Buffalo as the six teams winning the Super Bowl. There's no clear-cut winners this year. I mean, last year we knew how good the Chiefs were with Mahomes, and although we may have thought they wouldn't make it at times, wasn't a surprise anymore. Same thing with the Eagles; they were a dominant team. Texans until the end, yeah. I mean, I really could see them. I had them based on these matchups I chose for Week 18. Texans making it to the Super Bowl to take on the NFC winner, Seahawks. 49ers to the end. Well, I hope they sign someone that is going to help that defensive line between now and because that defensive line is god awful to say the least. Um, Looking at that defensive line overall, let's see. Like I mean, we already know they have the least sacks in the NFL. They have the 21st ranked run D. I mean, it is just there's nothing that stands out where they are just like, man, they are really good on defense. Uh, Rush yards over expected per attempt. But I don't trust the defense. Without a front four, I do not trust. Yeah, the offense is great, but I think the defenses will be what is limiting them with Trent Williams at nose guard. I just don't trust them enough. The offense is what would we say, a top 3 or 4 offense in the NFL right now. Uh, I just think they have to score 35 plus to win any game in the playoffs, unless they play the Panthers. I mean, outside of the Panthers, the Bears, the Rams, the Eagles, the Packers, Seattle, any of those teams are putting up 35 on them in that defense. I mean, we can always get the one-offs, but based on what we could expect, I think that's the outcome. Robert Saleh. Eagles are looking mid, yeah. Well, the offense is. The defense looks great. CPAC again. I appreciate all the support, all the likes. If you don't follow on your instant analytics out of football, we're talking week 18 now, but I post every day on each and every team. Carter, what is, well, let's see. Trying to figure it out. Let's see. Seattle over the 49ers? Yes. I talked about this earlier. The defensive line, defensive front, I just don't trust enough in in San Francisco. Although Seattle has Sam Darnold, who has his highs and his lows, this defense is so dominant. I think he can win the game itself and somewhat slow the San Francisco offense, which led to them having another matchup in the playoffs in the divisional round. Carter, I do appreciate the follow. Join thing. One moment. So yeah, the user. I don't know. There's a lot of games that are filler games that Vikings 8, 9, 9 and 8. I think they win that game. I think there's a potential for them to win that game. Green Bay is locked into the 7th, so they have nothing to play for. We know how good Darnold plays in important games. Yes, that's the only thing that worries me is that we are having a late season meltdown like we did last year with the Minnesota Vikings. That was offensive line induced, though. I trust the offensive line in Seattle more at this point. Who are my Super Bowl favorites right now? not looking at matchups, if I'm just looking at teams and who I think could make it, there's three teams in each conference that I would not be surprised if they won the Super Bowl. In the AFC, the Broncos, the Texans are the Bills. Bills solely due to Josh Allen, not the defense. The Texans, they have the best defense in the NFL. And Denver, I mean, they have the second best defense, third best, and the offense look great. So those three would not surprise me. NFC, Seattle, defense, same reason. Philadelphia, the offense can get going. We know what the defense can do, and they just won it last year. And the Rams. Outside of that, I don't think Chicago's not doing it. Carolina's obviously not doing it. San Francisco, defensive issues, and Green Bay, defensive issues. So favorites, if I had to choose favorites, man, it's hard to in the in the in Seahawks in the NFC. Texans, Seahawks. I noticed a difference. Yeah, the defense is terrible. That's the difference. Really wish they would have kept Mike McDonald and he would have ended up being the head coach over John Harbaugh. Yeah, I would. I'm just glad that there's not parity. I mean, the only team like who, if we don't get a Buffalo, I think the most like Super Bowl matchup would be the Bills versus the Eagles because we just had the Eagles last year and the Bills have been a dominant team as of late. Outside of that, I think NFL fans as a whole will be happy with any other matchup. So we're not going to have Chiefs, Eagles. We're not going to have repeat teams in there again. Niners, I mean, they were out. They were there 2 years ago, but Mike McDonald's 4-1 against Purdy. Yeah, who deserves Offensive Player of the Year? Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey because he is so important to that offense. Without him, that offense changes completely. I do believe. Um, I think it's a foregone conclusion at this point. I mean, regardless of what happens in Week 18, um, yeah, I don't think there's really much of an argument for anyone else, in my opinion, outside of Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, he may be Offensive Player of the Year and Comeback Player of the Year. He could be both. Um, I think Trevor Lawrence was second in Comeback Player of the Year, but I think Christian McCaffrey is going to win that. Uh, who is better, JSN or Puka? I mean, it's hard to be happy with either one of them. I think Puka, who is just Puka is a better run blocker than JSN, in my opinion. If you wanted to say, oh, they're what and what at wide receiver, um, Puka has a more off the field. Puka may be a little behind JSN. Do I think Dimondor Lenore locks down JSN? Who locks down JSN? Uh, slows down. I won't say locks down. I mean, 5 for 50 would be a great performance by Lenore if he can hold him to 5 for 50. But they're going to get JSN involved to some extent. Thank you for the roses. Thank you for the roses. But we will see what happens in that game. Really, we only have how many games of playoff importance? How many games are not playoff important? So there are 16 games. That one had New Orleans, Atlanta has some potential playoff relevance. We're going to say no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 games out of 16 are completely irrelevant. Only one, only 3 of them have 2 playoff teams, and the other 7 are just 1 playoff teams in the game. Yeah, week 1. I mean, you can make the argument about what happened in week 1, but week 1, I mean, there's 2 totally different teams at this point, 2 totally different offenses than when we had. Know the target rate. Season leaders. Let's see if Lenore truly does not get targeted. There's defender who has the highest targets. Where is to obviously real quick. So Demodor Lenore is currently has the 48th highest number of targets, 61, which basically equates to 4 a game ish, a little bit less than 4 a game. So he does not get many targets. Now he has played 590 coverage snaps, 36 receptions, 354 yards. So that's what 360 divided by 16. Um, DK Metcalf sold the season. How we finna beat the Ravens? There's Cantrell. I don't think there is a path to beat the Ravens. Um, Aaron Rodgers had his lowest output of the season as far as yards per attempt. He doesn't have his go-to target in DK Metcalf. It was either 4.3 or 4.9. Regardless, god awful performance. His second worst EPA per dropback of the season with no DK Metcalf. They put up, what, 6 points versus the Browns? I don't think they can score enough, regardless of if it's Tyler Huntley or Lamar Jackson. On the Ravens got 3.5 point spread right now in Ravens' favor, but last time Lenore gave up a touchdown, it was week 10, 2 touchdowns versus the Rams. Who was that against? Probably Devontae Adams, if I had to guess. Puka Nakua and Allen. NFL has been a dice roll. Yes, we were talking about the parity earlier and how there is no clear favorites this year. There's no true dominant team. I mean, outside the Eagles making it, I mean, they would still surprise me based on how their offense has been playing. So yeah, I think that's about it for tonight. Yeah, I mean, Lenore is still in an upper echelon of DBs, especially being considered he was a 5th-round pick in 2021. And with a defense that gets no pressure up front. So he is just putting no man's land out there on the back end of that defense. The defense has 18 sacks on the season. That's basically 1 per game. When you look at the number 1 ranked defense as far as sacks go, the Broncos have 64. So, again, I think that's it for tonight. Appreciate everybody stopping by. If you don't follow, hit that follow button. And we will be back probably later this week to talk maybe more about these 3 key playoff games between the Panthers, Bucks, Seahawks, Niners, and Ravens, Steelers. JJ, that would be great. They got to get rid of IU first. So then, thanks for stopping by.